Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm the King, and welcome back to the channel. Tomorrow we are going to get our taste of what the new chapter is going to be. They've been very sneaky this time. They haven't really dropped too much besides the initial teaser that we received a few days ago, and there's been a lot of speculation going around on who this new killer could be. And one of the most popular theories is that this is going to be Pinhead from Hellraiser or Cenobite. So today what we're going to do is look at a fan-made chapter and see what it would actually be like if Pinhead were to come on into the game. Now, as of now, we don't know. Maybe when you're watching this will be confirmed that Pinhead is coming on into the game. Maybe it's not, and it'll be a completely different killer, and we'll be completely wrong. Anyways, let's jump on into this video and talk about what it would look like if Pinhead came into Dead by Daylight. Now, this is a Dead by Daylight forums post by the user named McFred. I'm going to leave this post down below so you all can go ahead and take a look at it. All credit goes to them. We're just going to be reading what they wrote today. So the killer that they have for this chapter is obviously Pinhead, the Cenobite, and the survivor is Kirsty Cotton. So here's what they had to say. Pinhead's weapon will be a loose chain with a hook on the end, and his left hand will be holding the lament configuration or the cube. If you wanted, you can make his terror radius the sound of chains clanging together on the ominous sound from the movies where they're in the room. So a little bit of a custom chase music. Hopefully this killer also has custom chase music, as we're getting spoiled with more of the newer killers getting that custom chase music, so this ties straight into it. Next, we have Pinhead's ability. Pinhead can soar his hook forward, hooking a survivor, making them scream and slowing them down by 1.5% per hook, with a max of 10 hooks per survivor for a total of 15%. While using his ability, he cannot use his basic attack, since that is the hook that he uses to hook them, but after using his ability, he can hit you. Every time you hit the ability button while looking at a survivor, they will be hooked. The hook has a cooldown of 0.5 seconds. The hooks stay attached to all survivors until they are put into the dying state or escape Pinhead's line of sight. A survivor cannot use any abilities such as Adrenaline, Sprint Burst, or Dead Hard while hooked. Additionally, once a survivor is put on the meat hook, they must succeed a skill check. If they fail the skill check, the entity will be summoned. Now, the next part of this says there is no charge up to its ability. It cannot be used unless the survivor is in front of you. The range of the hooks are infinite if you are already hooked and within sight. But if there's no hooks on you, then the range will be 20 meters. So let's take a look at Pinhead's perks. The first one is called Sadistic. Every time you hit a survivor, you gain a token for a max of 5 tokens. Once at 5 tokens, they'll all be consumed, and your next attack will put the survivor in the dying state. You cannot pick up the survivor for 45, 30, and 20 seconds. The next one is called Face of Pain. Injured survivors that are outside of the killer's terror radius will now have slightly, moderately, and considerably harder skill checks. And finally, we have Hex Desire for Suffering. Every time a survivor is hooked, every survivor is revealed to the killer for 15, 20, and 25 seconds. Healthy survivors for 80 seconds have their altruistic actions slowed by 20, 35, and 50%. And next up, we have the survivor perks. This is for Kirsty. The first one is Algophobia. You and survivors within an 8-meter radius can see the killer's aura for 3, 4, and 5 seconds after they hit a survivor. The next one is Enigmatologist. It's a quite difficult word to say. For every skill check, you successfully gain a stack to a max of 3, 4, and 5. While inside of the killer's terror radius, all skill checks are great skill checks. Consume a stack for every great skill check you hit within the killer's terror radius. And finally, we have Sight of Pain. At the cost of a health state, gain the aura of generators, chests, totems, pallets, exegates, black locks, and survivors for 5, 7, and 10 seconds. You are put into the broken state after using. Now, this perk is the only perk on the list that is a bit outdated. I do need to note that this was actually created in March of 2019, so way before No Mither was even in the game. So this is kind of like No Mither, but way better in the sense that you can activate it. So hopefully we'll see a buff like that coming to No Mither, but that is going to wrap it up for this video. A couple of things are currently going around as well that I quickly want to address at the end of this video. Number one, you guys may have seen some people talking about the code name Ukraine. That has nothing to do with anything. In fact, that has no relevancy to the chapter at all. These are just code names that Dead by Daylight uses to code their chapters alphabetically. So it's been going in sequential order for a very long time. I believe the last chapter was called Molly, or the one before that. So that's basically how they work, and it has no correlation. So the map is definitely not going to be in Ukraine or anything like that. You've also probably seen something going around saying saloon. Now, originally, I was going to make a video on this, and then Polyester reminded me that there was a chapter that was actually called Zoo, and obviously, we never had a zoo map. The last one was called Shrine, so there was a bit of correlation, but it's kind of a hit or miss, so I don't want to cover it and tell you guys that we could potentially be getting a saloon and this Western-themed thing, when in reality, there is a very slim chance for that happening, and even trying to put saloon together with the teaser that we received, it doesn't really make much sense now, does it? So we'll have to wait and see, but that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Make sure you go ahead and take a look at this post. Again, this was by McFred. I'll leave a link down below. They did an excellent job coming up with what the Cenobite would look like in Dead by Daylight. But that's gonna wrap it up for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you guys do subscribe for tomorrow for some more information on the new chapter. And as always, I'm the King. I tip my crown to you guys, and we will see you in the fog.